everybody. It is Elle, and today we are reading about Lauren Agee, A-G-E, maybe Agee. This is an older case, 2015, and it's kind of an odd case, as they usually are. She's only 21 years old, really pretty girl. Went camping. She went to a wakeboard festival, like a tournament, and they were supposed to stay in a cabin, but they ended up camping at the top of a cliff with a 35-foot drop. Really dangerous, scary. She actually had asked someone else if she could go with them because she didn't want to go to this cliff and camp up there. But that person told her no. And so she ended up going to this cliff with 3 other people, a friend named Hannah Palmer, a guy named Chris Stout, and another guy named Aaron Lilly. And Chris Stout and her ended up sleeping in a hammock, which was literally looked to be dangling above the water with a 35-foot drop below it. Looks really dangerous. Mind you, she was supposed to be sleeping in that hammock with Chris, but the next morning she was gone and nobody knows where she was. It's hard to get out of the hammock without like twisting it over, and I don't know if you've ever been in a hammock, but they're not the easiest thing to get in and out of, especially with somebody else. So I don't know how that would have worked. Her body was found later the next day, just floating in the water. The police determined that she had fallen and hit her head, I believe, that she had closed blunt force trauma is what they said killed her. And then she fell into the water. She may have drowned additionally, but later it appeared there was no water in her lungs. So they think she died from the blunt force trauma. So strange. Her mother doesn't believe any of it, and mostly because of a off-duty police officer who was at Wakefest called and said he didn't believe that's what happened. So it's been a kind of still like a mystery that nobody knows what happened. At one point, the mother was trying to sue the girl that was with Lauren, Hannah. My understanding is that didn't kind of work out to where the mother, it sounded like they let Hannah go. And I'm not exactly sure what she was suing her for, but something to do with her daughter's death. So we're just going to ask a few things. It's like it's foul play or it's an accident. It really can't be much more. So we're just going to ask right off bat, is this foul play? Because it seems like there's just not a whole lot out there that is proving things one way or the other. And there's a lot of speculation and everybody has a theory. So let's see what the cards say. Is this foul play for Lauren? I'm just going to call her Agee because that's the way Agee. I heard it pronounced. So that seems to be the truth, to be honest with you, because this is the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords tells the truth, and this is like leaving the world, completion. That is the truth of how her life completed, how she left this world. This is the World card. So it does look like it was foul play, which is weird because, you know, I was thinking it was just an accident, to be honest with you. But that goes to show tarot sometimes will show me and open my eyes to things too. Now, tell me about this being an accident. Really looks like foul play from what I've got here. Especially when the Queen of Swords, she's my truth lady. Tell me about this being an accident. This is the Six of Pentacles. I don't see this being an accident. This person is very purposefully giving things to others. It's a very purposeful card. The people are purposefully begging. The other person's purposefully handing things to them. So I don't see anything accidental about that card at all. Well, that's interesting. So we're going to ask about this Chris Stout person because some people were saying she had like bite marks on her. She appeared to have been strangled. Her body may have been dragged. We're going to ask all those things now that we do have some cards suggesting foul play. That's not what I was expecting, really. Let's ask about Chris Stout's involvement in this. None of them, to my understanding, were brought up on any sort of charges. So let's ask about Chris Stout's involvement in this. Um, I do feel he's innocent because we have the Fool card, but this also is kind of a couple trouble card. So I don't think he killed her. Or not that I'm seeing, because I have the Fool. The Fool's always innocent. But I do feel like there may have been some problematic situation between them where they weren't getting along. Tell me about Aaron Lily's involvement in this. Aaron Lily's involvement in this. Tell me about Aaron Lily's involvement. This is somebody being really sad and kind of going off on their own. I do feel like she did go off on her own. They said the story was that she got up to use the bathroom. He looks like he's sad. I don't see him having done something to her either. They weren't the only ones up there, you know. There were other people too. Tell me about Hannah's involvement. Hannah Palmer, in the death of in the foul play situation with Lauren Agee. Tell me Hannah Palmer's involvement. Well, that's just really making bad choices, is what I see. Somebody making really bad choices. And that's not good. We're going to ask a little bit more about that. The Seven of Cups is, you know, there's a lot of good things you can choose, but you don't know. You're maybe choosing some bad things too. So tell me a little bit more about Hannah's involvement in the passing of Lauren Agee. Hannah's involvement. Tell me more about Hannah's involvement in the passing of Lauren Agee. That's interesting. That to me says the girls were fighting. And this is a fighting card, and this is a very much a female card. So it appears Hannah may have had more to do with this than me. Well, her mom seemed to think she did. And we have the Ace of Cups as putting someone in water after perhaps a fight. That's what I'm seeing. There was conflict between the two of them. They weren't getting along. And let me just ask about Hannah having been the person who put her in the water. Tell me about Hannah putting her in the water. I mean, that's a 35-foot drop, so that's not an easy thing to do. Tell me about Hannah being involved in Lauren being in the water. Well, this is somebody acting very, very hot-headed, irrationally, quickly. You know, it just looks like maybe she did something fast without really thinking about it. Because I have the Page of Pentacles, it almost feels like there was some sort of concentration on something she had. And just thinking about that thing. I think I think they got in a fight and she got angry. I don't know if she specifically put her in the water, but it feels like, because I've got a land card here with the Page of Pentacles, but it feels like there was something going on where she was very just focused on this thing. Now, I don't know if these girls did drugs. I'm sure they did a toxicology report, but sometimes with the Page of Pentacles, you know, somebody can be very focused on a drug or something of that nature, of obtaining something that they want, that they feel like they need. Again, I don't know if she was involved in that. I'm just going to ask for a little more clarity with Hannah's involvement here. Tell me about Hannah Palmer's involvement in the passing of Lauren Agee. Tell me about Hannah Palmer's involvement. I mean, here we have somebody with a head injury. This is the Nine of Wands. So we've got the defensive card, we've got the fighting card, we've got the head-headed card, and we've got this person with a head injury. I think something happened. and the person acted fast and not really thinking like the Knight of Swords does. You know, you can push someone, you can yell at them, you can, and then oops, you know, they're down the cliff and have hit their head and hurt themselves. But there is also all this stuff about bite marks and strangulation and body being dragged. So we're going to ask about that. Let's ask if she drowned, first of all, because they're saying no, they don't think she did, but the report said she possibly drowned, so it's kind of an odd, something not clear there. Tell me about her drowning. This is the Ten of Pentacles. That's very much a land card. That's not a water card, so I don't think she passed in the water. I think she passed on the land. We're going to ask if she died from the blunt force trauma, and you know, if she was pushed or whatever, blunt force trauma, that could have happened. I just think blunt force trauma. I think they were. This to me is a yes card. I do feel like that is what happened with the Justice card. That's telling me what that is true. Justice is a card of truth. So then let's ask if these injuries were caused from a person. Were injuries caused from a person? Because we've got some really weird bite marks some people are saying are on her. Things like that. So tell me about injuries from another person being on her. Yeah, it's kind of strange, huh? It looks like possibly from her friend. It's not good. And this again is the on the land from her friend. I think they got in a fight. That's what it looks like. It looks like they got in a fight. That's what it keeps telling me again and again. Let's ask if she was strangled indeed. Was she strangled? Because people say there were marks around her neck like she was strangled, or at least like maybe somebody tried. They might not have been successful, but did someone try to strangle her that night? And I hate to say it, but it's really pointing kind of to her friend. I do see yes, they did. This is a yes card for me. The sun, and then I've got the whole, and then maybe put her in the water, or focused on getting. This is a water card. It does look like that. How sad is that, huh? And then we're going to ask about the bite mark. Was that really a bite mark? I mean, you would think if it was a bite mark, you could see the teeth, or I don't know if it was that pronounced. But you can get images of people's teeth and match them up. So was this a bite mark on her, on Lauren? Was there a bite mark on Lauren? I don't know if there was. This kind of is more of an innocent card to me. This is like, look a little closer. Might have been something else is what it's telling me. I feel like it was, I don't feel like it was. I feel like it was something else. Okay, we're going to ask if her body was dragged because people think it was. Was her body dragged? Was her body dragged? Was Lauren's body dragged? No, I think she passed away on the land. I mean, she could have been dragged across the land. I suppose that's what this is probably saying because the ground is tilled up. I don't think very far at all. In fact, it feels more like she was just kind of like pushed and then went down. A hot-headed fight with somebody pushing and then someone falling is more hitting things, ending up in the water. That is kind of more what I'm getting here. So not necessarily dragged, if it feels more like pushed and then hitting things on the way down. I'll just ask for any other information we need to know about this. Very strange, different than I thought. Any other information we need to know about this case of Lauren? Any other information we need to know about Lauren's case? Um, hmm, that's interesting. That's the Ten of Cups and the moving away. So that tells me she was moved away, perhaps. Moved away. Moved away over the water? They did have a canoe or something with them because that's how they got there. And then the Ten of Cups is water. 2 water cards here. Moved over the water? Moved away from where she was? That's weird because to me it felt like she had fallen and gone into the water, but then we've got this whole moved away situation. All right, tell me a little bit more about that moved away situation. That's odd. Tell me more about her being moved away. Moved away from the campsite? Huh. Look at that. And put into the water. Kind of moved away and this is odd. It's like she was moved away. I know there was a mark on her. People were saying was from a boat. This is really confirming that, to be honest with you. Like she was taken and she was already passed at that time in the boat. I do have a triangle here on the temperance as in 3, which is kind of hitting me. I wonder if the boys had something to do with moving her as well. Did the boys help to move her? It appears she was moved. Did the boys, she was already passed. Did the boys help to move her? One of them, it looks like. One of them did. We got the Emperor. It looks like one of the boys helped to move her. So this is a very weird case. It's the more I read about it, it's creepy. What it appears is the girls got into a fight over some disagreement. And it appears Aaron was probably the one who moved her. The girls got in a disagreement. Maybe she was getting in a disagreement with Chris first, because I see this sort of, couple trouble, we're not getting along card. But it looks like Chris is innocent. I got the Fool for him. Aaron, on the other hand, is sad and going away. We have this like something bad happened and then moving away with it. In this case, I would say with it. It appears the girls got into an argument. Maybe something about them making a bad choice. Hannah making a bad choice that affected her friend. Getting into an argument. Hannah acting hot-headed. Very protective of herself. And then we've got the head injury, which I do believe was Lauren. And then we've got, this did all happen on land though. It didn't happen in the water. I do feel she passed on land. And then I do feel her friends actually put her in the water and moved her. Probably in that boat is what it looks like. I mean, come on. We've got this card. Moving someone in the boat. Well, they're already passed. Her body's already gone at that point with the help of a man. So, bad situation here. Looks like a big cover-up. Weird that they got into that kind of big of a fight, but I guess all it takes is just, slapping someone down. They hit their head on something, whatever. She may have fallen a little bit, but I don't feel like she went all the way down to the ground and went into the water, to the very bottom of the ground. Cliff. It was more like she fell down. She fell down after being pushed. And then there's this element of them moving her in the boat. Different than I thought it was, that's for sure. All right, well, that's what I've got on Lauren Agee. All right, take care, people. Bye-bye.